Hi, my name's Ian. I'm a dad, I'm an engineer, I've done some business, and I make videos about this molecule here. It's nitrogen. The air is 78% nitrogen, and hydrogen. Uh, we can get hydrogen from water and green electricity. So this whole molecule can be green. Why do we want this? This is ammonia, all right? Why do we want ammonia? It's a liquid, and liquids have a lot more energy in them than gases. So this is more useful as a fuel. So I was just down in Houston a couple weeks ago, came back sick. I apologize. Wanted to make this video a little while ago. Came back, I've been laid out for 10 days. So I was invited to Houston to speak at this energy conference, this hydrogen and ammonia conference. And it was a great opportunity. I came back uh, feeling on top of the world and then got really sick. But here I want to share, one of the big learnings from this hydrogen conference. So batteries, I know some people are wildly optimistic about our ability to combat climate change with green batteries. We'll be able to do some things, but the truth is today we use 100 million barrels of oil. We use oil for trains and trucks and tractors and all sorts of things that simply we won't be able to do with batteries. And even if batteries get a little bit better, they're nowhere close. The energy density of a lithium battery, like per liter, the amount of energy in 1 liter is about 1/36th, all right? 36 times less than gasoline. So imagine, and that's not even the weight. So the size of the batteries you would need to operate a train for a day, it's bonkers. Right? So we need fuel. So green ammonia is simply hydrogen plus air. You get green hydrogen, you run green power through water, have some specialized plates, electrolyzers, and they help the water split into oxygen and hydrogen. And you use that hydrogen, hopefully, for green fuel. Now, hydrogen itself is a gas. Gases are not very good fuels. They have not that much energy even after you compress them quite a bit. So what looks to make far more economic sense, far more practical sense than pure hydrogen is you add a second step. So what you do is you take nitrogen from the air is 78% nitrogen, and you combine it with hydrogen under pressure with a catalyst, and it will form into ammonia. Now, ammonia is almost a liquid. It's like propane. It's a liquid if you keep it under a little bit of pressure or a little bit of cold. It would be a liquid in a cup at -36 Celsius, or a liquid in your living room under a couple pounds of pressure in a tank. Right? Then when you use this liquid as a fuel, you produce nitrogen, again, just air, and water, right? So that's perfect, right? Seems simple, easy, let's go. And shipping this, again, if we compare the cost of shipping ammonia, which is low pressure, lots of energy. So one tank, one truck with ammonia on it, uh, versus 10 trucks, 20 trucks with hydrogen on them. And the hydrogen is under wild pressure. So it's a much more expensive 10 trucks versus one truck. Right? This is why you want to do this, right? You want the liquid. It's far fewer trips, and everything you are handling is cheaper, right? It's not under high pressure. It's not exotic materials. It's simple steel. All right. So I'm down there in Houston, and I'm trying to figure out where are we, right? Are we in this never zone of research and let's find out the financial models and or is this done? And is it just a matter of market and sell? Let's everything's done, let's just sell it. I mean, here's what I can tell you, like the green power is done. We know how to do it. The hydrogen production is done. We know how to do this at a huge scale. There's already lots of big projects going on. The ammonia production, we've made ammonia for 100 years, making it with green hydrogen or traditionally we took natural gas and took the hydrogen out of the CH4. We know everything about ammonia production. We use a ton of ammonia already. We use 5 million barrels of ammonia already, made from natural gas, but it's the same thing. So the distribution system, there's pipelines, there's trucks, there's tanks, there's engineering standards, everything about distribution and storage we know. The whole thing, everything's ready. The only missing piece is people using this as a fuel. That's, as far as I can tell, that's the only missing thing. And the fuel's coming, right? Massive international shipping lines. They're converting their big, container ships to run on ammonia. So that's coming, but we don't have tractors doing this yet. Is there a reason not? I think it's just marketing. Honestly, technically it's fun, right? And the supply's there, right? So, and the question is there going to be a big force behind this green fuel adoption? Well, I want to share with you some research that was presented at this conference, right? So this EPRI, Electric Power Research Institute, produces great stuff, and it's all free. I mean, definitely check them out. Um, rollout of solar and all just really interesting, practical, financial research. Right? So they present this research on the cost drivers for green ammonia. There's only a couple pieces, right? You've got your power cost. So here, it's your power is green in some regions, that's wind. In Texas, you're going to use wind power, or in California, it's yellow. In California, your power is going to be solar. In Florida or New York, your power is going to be nuclear. Your green power is going to be nuclear. And so there you go. Power cost, your capital cost for the electrolyzers. So the equipment that changes water into hydrogen and oxygen, takes the green power. So that's the pink. And I mean, these are real costs. So over time, this might come down, this might change a bit, but like, okay. So your power might be $500 in Texas, and your electrolyzers might be $250. And then your ammonia synthesis, taking that hydrogen and turning it into a liquid that is easy to handle. That's, I don't know, $75, $100. All right, this is your cost. So depending on where you are, mostly driven by the cost of your green power. Your green ammonia production costs are going to range from 750 to 1250. All right. Useful information. Probably, I mean, probably if you're listening to this, you have no frame of reference for that. All right. Which is interesting, but like, I mean, think about it. To take your green electricity and to store it into a fuel that you can use to run a tractor in, the additional cost is like 50%, right? That, again, just framing it, it's kind of useful to understand. Yeah, okay, right? Now, in the US, the one of the big signature things that was actually accomplished was the Infrastructure Renewal Act, the IRA. And as part of that, there are tax incentives. There's tax incentives for green power. There's tax incentives for producing hydrogen. So the IRA Section 48E, 45Y, and 45B, I've heard people talk about them, but this was the first time I'd seen it rolled up financially. All right. So the impact of these are about $500 a ton. So you're taking something that was $750 a ton and taking it down to $250 a ton. All right. Huge, huge financial impact. And I'm sitting there at this conference and I'm thinking, $250 a ton? What? What? Yes. And around me, there's no reaction. Nobody blinks. Right? Maybe you're in the same camp. What does $250 a ton mean? Right? Okay. Is that good? Is that cheap? Well, here's the conversion. All right. If you convert it to a liter or a gallon, it's like 15 cents a liter, 57 cents a gallon. Now, a gallon of ammonia has 1/3 the energy of a gallon of diesel or gasoline. So you would need to use 3 gallons to run a tractor the same distance, right? That's $1.78 a gallon. That's 47 cents a liter. That's really cheap for 100% green fuel. I mean, how many regions in the US is the power into the Tesla actually 100% green, right? In Texas, it's not. And I'm in Toronto. In Toronto, it's not. Maybe it's 75% green. This is 100% green for half the price of fuel, maybe less. So, yeah, I came back from Texas in a bad mood. Apologies. I've been meaning to share this, but I've been sick. I came back sick too. I was out for 10 days. But here I am, sharing the good news. $250 a ton. I mean, I think we're done. Like, convert your engine today. Like, let's go. So, sorry. Right now, S&P Platts says you can get green ammonia for about $800 a ton. That's the spot price right now because the tax credits haven't been applied yet to these things. But anywhere in North America, you can buy green ammonia. You can buy it. So if you want to start doing your pilots, if you got a fleet of 200 vehicles, you want to convert one just to figure it out, get your tank going. Time is now. right? Green fuel is here and it's going to be cheap and infinitely scalable, and the supply chain's there, and it's just liquid in a tank like propane. Like we are done. And I'm excited to just see it roll out. Like let's so this page isn't done. I will continue to cover as things hit the market and are released, but like this is why I'm optimistic about climate change. Real practical solutions. Now, maybe I'll stop there. What's the US government going to do when they figure out they're going to like subsidize $1 trillion in green fuel? Maybe this get rolled back a bit, right? So maybe it won't be 250, maybe it'll creep up to 500. But still, like green fuel, affordable, let's go. All right. So I hope this puts you in a good mood too. Cheers.